car accident in Illinois, what you do afterwards can really help or hurt your case. So here's exactly what you should do. Hi, my name is Zach Anderson. I'm a co-owner at 217 Law. And at 217 Law, we help people across central Illinois who've been injured in car accidents. So the first thing you should do is make sure you're safe and then call 911. Call even if you think you're fine, even if you think you're not hurt. Adrenaline can mask symptoms, and what feels minor at the scene can turn into a real pain or real injury later. In fact, I've had clients that go to the emergency room even right after a car accident, and they think they're okay, and then a week or two later they find out, well, they actually had a fracture or something torn. So certainly make sure you get medical treatment. When you call 911, make sure, if you can, that a police report is completed. Police reports can't typically be used during court proceedings, but they can be used when dealing with an insurance company before a lawsuit is filed. And they often become pretty critical pieces of evidence when arguing with an insurance adjuster about who was at fault. Third, document as much as you can, as much as you safely can, I should say. If you can take pictures of the vehicles, license plates, the road, traffic signals, skid marks, your surroundings, any visible injuries, that can all be helpful. Names and phone numbers of witnesses can also be good. Your phone is really one of the most important tools you have at a crash scene. If you talk to the other side, you don't have to, but if you do talk to whomever was at fault or whomever you were in the accident with, obviously be polite, but don't apologize, don't speculate about what could have happened. This protects you if there's ever an issue later with fault, and that's because Illinois follows what's called a modified comparative fault rule, which generally means that if you're more than 50% at fault for a crash, you're not going to recover anything. And when fault is an issue, even casual statements that are made at a scene can later be used against you. Again, seek medical attention as soon as possible. Um, a lot of times you'll have the option, especially if a police officer comes, to go by ambulance. Typically, is going to be in your best interest to do so if you think you're injured. But even if you don't go by ambulance, follow up with the emergency room as quickly as possible. Insurance companies, when looking at injury claims following car accidents, look for gaps in treatment. And if you wait too long, then that just gives them room to argue that you weren't as hurt as you claim you are. And finally, in the days after an accident, an insurance adjuster will probably reach out to you wanting to talk. Be very careful with that. You're not required to give them a recorded statement. Insurance adjusters are trained to minimize claims. So, um, not only is it typically not in your best interest to give a recorded statement, but it probably is in your best interest to consult a lawyer before you do so. If you've been hurt in a car accident anywhere in central Illinois and you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can visit us online at www.217law, or you can call us at 217 217 0217. I promise that's a real phone number.